people blocking trucks, spazzing out on the side of the road, considered by some reporters on being the biggest strike in Amazon history. They're doing this during peak season for one. Now I'm all about paying people what they're worth and lashing back at bosses who expect you to work hell's hours, speed your way through tasks, make sure to pick up other slack, and keep that customer service smile up all for a lousy $10.50. For anyone above 18, it's an embarrassment. But while playing devil's advocates on social media, especially Instagram, push most of these clips of painting Amazon as the villain, I do think they are portraying, to an extent, a false narrative.
Right now, it is peak season at Amazon. It's Amazon's most profitable time of year.
Well, it's pretty typical of Amazon to call mandatory overtime every holiday season.
They've been asking for us to work 11.5-hour days, 5 days a week.
Now, I used to actually work at Amazon, and I'm not saying all Amazons are like this, but from my personal viewpoint, safety seemed to get a bit too serious with management, going from no use of headphones while only having to stock their shelves, to no sitting down at your station because uno nunca sabe. Now, this could all have been put in place after these interviews came out, which would make sense on why managers seem so uptight about it, but considering how some of the people protesting don't even work for Amazon, it really just seems like people are trying to stomp on Amazon's name just to stomp on its name, and how much of a bigger company they are compared to others. Keep in mind, I've only ever been with Amazon for a month. I left because my brain can't do third shift plus overtime while also living with a family of 5 others, also being chained down to school. They didn't have part-time at the time. So I'm not completely familiar with other spots within the facility. As for the number of injuries listed in some of these videos, it's never specified if these injuries only just happen at the company or if they admitted fault. Did someone decide to be a dumbass with a forklift, or were the mean Amazon bosses demanding too much? If this has actually happened to people before, that's insane. As for my time there, I remember I'd use the bathroom every 2 hours in a 10-hour shift. Like a mini break, you know? Not once did I get told off about it, but to be fair, I think that's just because of my numbers. Those in chat would know, like the place they recorded your pace on how many items you'd scan by the computer. It was pretty good most of the time. I'd save the little easy bits to scan right before I left my station and just speed through them to get my number down or up, I don't remember. And my manager would be all like, good job, good job. He was Indian. If I were to guess, I think these people were just slow with it and got told off when they'd go out of their station. I don't know if there was towers. Now listen, it can get hard working those hours plus overtime with no fucking headphones, going up and down, up and down. But when these people complain about not being able to drink water, I'm sorry. I just don't believe that during orientation, they were told, no, you can't bring your water bottle and drink it at your station. It's unacceptable. Considering how much easier the job is compared to other warehouse jobs like UPS and how much power Amazon has in general, I don't think the strike is going to do much. I've checked the Amazon near my place for any job openings, and it's been radio silent besides maybe 3 full-time spots open. Believe me or not, it's all up to you. So why do people end up staying at Amazon? All these injuries and all these complaints about bad pay, bad benefits, micromanagement, which I do agree on the micromanaging. It's insane over there. But what people from the outside don't know is that Amazon does this thing where if you work a certain job, you're paid a certain amount. And I don't mean supervisors compared to new hires. I mean packers compared to loaders, unloaders, or anything that seems harder. Those are the ones that get paid in the 20s. So yeah, when you start off, you might start off as a stower, making 16 to 18 something. And that's where all the talk about low pay gets put in. But like me, right, I remember getting paid 17 something for stowing those yellow shelves they have. But compared to someone loading, I was making less. But now compare that pay to UPS, where everyone starts off making the same amount no matter what. If you're unloading, scanning, loading, easy job, hard job, they'll all start off with the same pay. Which on Amazon's part, it seems smart, it seems fair, and personally, from the bottom of my heart, I do think Amazon does want what's best for their customers. Sure, people will eventually get hurt. That's inevitable with any factory job. And taking into account how much of a bigger company they are, I'm not surprised of the amount of news there is about the hectic work conditions. Hectic. Because UPS and FedEx are much smaller, from my view, my opinion, small. They tend to get away with a lot of that kind of spotlight. Since most drivers work on some third-party thing and aren't actual employees, it is confusing on how they expect UPS's level of pay. But with the help of flex drivers, people over 21 taking on shorter routes that they can choose from their phone, getting paid well for the job, help Amazon not rely on actual drivers with experience, but anyone 21 and up with a car and license.
The first real bottleneck happening in this process is where to put the bulk orders of goods for their journey across the ocean. A decade ago, containers were in such oversupply that excess boxes were repurposed as houses and entire business parks. Now, containers are so scarce that the price to ship one has gone through the roof. So Amazon is making its own 53-foot containers in China, using a company called CIMC, which makes similar containers for Walmart. In early October, hundreds of Amazon's own containers arrived at the port of Houston on the Star Ligra.
And how fast Amazon has grown with the amount of time it's been around, I do believe that at some point Amazon will be the only delivery company people will go for, running its competitors like UPS and FedEx out of business. For now, Amazon does rely on UPS to deliver some of their packages.
But Amazon still depends on UPS and the Postal Service, at least for now.
The USPS delivers to every zip code, every small town in America. And Amazon built its strategy around taking away the high volume centers.
Amazon can't do last mile deliveries from their warehouses who have some sort of skill on how far they can deliver to small towns and less populous areas, since it costs them more if they do. Instead, they'll drop all those orders they couldn't do to UPS or USPS, who have all those addresses they already delivered to, while also charging them less per package.